I built a real, production-ready full-stack e-commerce store. User auth, product catalog, shopping cart, blog, admin panel, even CI/CD. And I did it using an AI model that costs less than a coffee and remembers a million tokens of context. But the craziest part? It wrote almost all the code, found a security hole in my JWT refresh logic, and even suggested a missing database index. Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a blueprint to ship your own app at lightning speed, and I'll reveal the one prompt that unlocked everything. Oh, and when I tried to break the cart with concurrent requests, that's when it truly shocked me. The project? Glacy, a full-stack ice cream store with user registration, product search, and category filters. Guest cart that merges after login, blog posts, delivery info, and an admin panel. Tech stack, Node.js plus Express, MongoDB, JWT HTTP only cookies. Cloudinary for images, Node Mailer, and Vanilla.js frontend with Vite. I'd normally spend days wiring this up, but I had just got access to DeepSeek V4 Flash, the model with a 1 million token context window and API pricing at 14 cents per million input tokens. Yes, you heard that right. I started with one prompt. Plan the full Glacy ice cream store based on this README, give me the entire project structure, ERD, and API endpoints. What it returned was not a plan. It was a declaration of war on boilerplate. And then it did something I've never seen an AI do before. Within 60 seconds, DeepSeek V4 Flash output my entire Express backend, models with validation, controllers for every endpoint, middleware for auth and CSRF, even a seed script for sample products and blog posts. Because of that 1 million context window, I simply said, keep the whole conversation in memory. And it did. No forgetting the schema when writing the cart controller. No hallucinating field names. But here's where it gets wild. I told it, add rate limiting, input sanitization, and all the error handling you think I'll need. It added helmet, express rate limit, joy schemas, and then commented on my MongoDB indexes. It caught a missing compound index on Carditim's product ID and fixed it. I wasn't coding, I was reviewing a senior dev's pull request. Next, the front end. Vanilla.js modules, responsive CSS with mobile bottom nav, font awesome, and Vite dev server. I pasted my entire backend code, now 9,000 tokens, right into the prompt and said, generate the full front end that consumes this API. Include guest cart stored in local storage, merge it after login, and handle all loading and error states. Most models would choke. V4 Flash not only gave me every component, it suggested a custom debound search for the product catalog and a fallback image system for Cloudinary. But then I decided to test its limits, and that's when the real magic and the bug appeared. I asked it to add JWT authentication with HTTP only cookies and a protected admin panel. It wrote the middleware, the login/register flows, and the role-based access. But when I logged in as admin and tried to update a product, the app crashed after exactly 15 minutes. The error? Token expired error. JWT expired. The AI had set the access token expiry to 15 minutes correctly, but forgot to implement the refresh token rotation. I fed the entire codebase into DeepSeek and said, find why refresh doesn't work. In seconds, it pinpointed the missing /API/v1/users/refresh endpoint and generated the full solution. And then it said something that made my jaw drop. I see you're storing the cart in local storage for guests. That's fine, but merge it server-side after login to avoid race conditions. It argued with me about cart consistency. This is where the 1 million context becomes a superpower. I dumped my entire project, 43,000 tokens, into a single message. Audit this app for performance, security, and edge cases. It analyzed everything from the Vite proxy config to the last CSS media query. It found a race condition in the guest cart merge logic, a missing X content type options header, and an N+1 query in the blog post list. It even rewrote the product search to use a MongoDB text index. But the real gold was when I asked it to predict what features users will ask for next, and it generated a ready-to-implement roadmap, product reviews, wish list, and discount codes. That's not coding. That's a crystal ball.
I then said, write tests for all critical flows. Backend cart logic, JWT auth, product validation, and front-end XSS escaping, login state, local storage. It gave me a Vitest workspace with 6 test files covering 38 tests. I ran them, 37 passed. One failed because of an async timing issue in the front-end login state test. I pasted the error into DeepSeek, and it fixed the wait for with a proper mock. By now, I was terrified, not of the AI, but of how much time I was saving. So I decided to deploy, and that's when I saw the bill. I asked DeepSeek to write a GitHub Actions workflow, Node 20, 22, 24, a Docker file for the backend, a Vite build command for production, and even an auto-commit watcher script for local development. Done. The entire app was live in under 10 minutes. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The total cost of all DeepSeek API calls to build Glacy, from first prompt to final test, 47 cents. That's less than a scoop of premium ice cream. 1 million tokens of context, state-of-the-art reasoning, and I spent less than my bus fare. If that doesn't change how you think about building software, nothing will. So here it is, a full-stack ice cream store with auth, product catalog, persistent cart, blog, admin panel, and 38 tests, built in an afternoon, cost 47 cents. But I promised you honesty. Will this replace developers? No, but it will replace developers who don't use AI. DeepSeek V4 Flash amplified my skills, caught my mistakes, and taught me better patterns. I still had to architect, make decisions, and understand the code. The difference is, I never once wrote a CRUD endpoint or Googled HTTP-only cookie versus local storage again. Now, before I wrap up, I have to tell you about something that just dropped. DeepSeek Desktop. Same insane 1M context and cheap API, but now as a native app for your local development workflow. Imagine your code editor, live browser preview, terminal, and the DeepSeek chat all in one window. No more copy-pasting between tabs. You highlight a bug, it sees the full file tree, suggests the fix, and you apply it with one click. It even watches your file changes and auto-generates commit messages based on what you just built. I'm saving the deep dive for a full video, but here's the spoiler. With DeepSeek Desktop, the AI isn't your pair programmer anymore. It's your co-pilot that never loses context. No more as an AI model excuses. It sees your entire project, always. So subscribe and hit the bell, because my next video is a full tutorial on building an entire SaaS using only DeepSeek Desktop from blank folder to deployed app in under 2 hours. You don't want to miss that.